Hello and welcome back to All Rounder Sports, and it's been quite a while, but I am back now and hopefully there'll be more consistent uploads on this channel. But I thought I would bring something a bit different to the channel today. So on YouTube I found quite a lot of people like to do reaction videos, and they tend to go down quite well. So I thought I would bring that into the sporting world, and the first thing I'm going to react to is the England squad that was announced by Roy Hodgson yesterday for games against the Republic of Ireland and Slovenia, with Slovenia being a European qualifier and Republic of Ireland being a friendly. So firstly, onto the goalkeepers, where we have Rob Green, Joe Hart and Tom Heaton. Now obviously Joe Hart is the big first choice keeper. Pretty much everyone knows that by now. And with 50 caps, he has the most by a long way. Most likely going to be in goal for both games. But interesting to see Rob Green back in the team after having a decent season for QPR, even though QPR have been relegated. But the one I really want to talk about is Tom Heaton of Burnley, where again, Burnley have gone down, but it's another goalkeeper that's put in great performances. He is up there on clean sheets. I think he has 9 clean sheets for Burnley this season, which for a side that's gone down is incredible. And he's made so many saves for them and kept them in so many games that this is a call-up that is really deserved. Now moving on to the fullbacks, where I think both starting fullbacks for probably both games are going to be Southampton players, in Ryan Bertrand on the left and Nathaniel Clyne on the right. Now, there is one point I want to throw out here before I get really into this, is that I don't think Kieran Gibbs has earned a place in this team, because there is one player that I think should actually be in the team, and it's not a player you'd probably think about, but it's West Ham's Aaron Cresswell. He scooped West Ham's Player of the Year award in his first season in the Premier League, and he's put in some incredible performances, and he's got decent set pieces. He would literally be a like-for-like replacement for Leighton Baines, who is currently injured after an operation at the moment. So I think he would have been a perfect replacement for Leighton Baines in there. But Kieran Gibbs gets the nod ahead of him. On the right, it's a bit more difficult because there aren't as many players over there right now. You have people like Glenn Johnson at Liverpool, but as most football fans know, that's Glenn Johnson. And then you're looking to people in other countries like Mika Richards at Fiorentina. And he's not the highest quality, really. He's not come out as what people hoped he would. So Nathaniel Clyne is pretty much the obvious first choice, but it's difficult to see a second choice. And now for the centre-backs, where we have Chelsea's Gary Cahill, Everton's Phil Jagielka, and Manchester United centre-backs Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. It's sad when you have to see Phil Jones and Chris Smalling and then you can't think of replacements, really. Obviously, the one everyone wants in there is Chelsea captain John Terry, but he retired quite a long time ago, and he isn't coming back anytime soon. So you are kind of left with Chris Smalling and Phil Jones, which is a bit unfortunate, really. Especially if you saw Phil Jones's little crawling header Gollum incident against Arsenal. That just basically summed Phil Jones up. Chris Smalling, I don't think is as bad as some people say he is, but he's still not that good. Now moving on to the wingers, where we have James Milner, Raheem Sterling, Andros Townsend and Theo Walcott. Yes, I have included Theo Walcott as a winger rather than a striker, but I think once you get into the strikers and you see who's in there, I think Theo Walcott may get a role up front. But for now, he's been classed as a midfielder, so I'm classing him as a winger. Looking at the other guys, Andros Townsend, I really don't think he's deserved a place in this team, as well as Kieran Gibbs. I just don't think they've deserved a place because they haven't played enough. But it's kind of what we're left with. Now, a player that I really don't like, but I think he's had a good season, that I think should replace Andros Townsend. Again, another West Ham player. I look like a West Ham fan right now, not a Leicester fan. But Stuart Downing. I mean, a lot of people joke about Stuart Downing, but I think he's really had a good season at West Ham. I think he deserves another shot at the England team. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you've got a friendly and a European qualifier against a side that we are supposed to beat. So I think it would have been a good chance to try and get Stuart Downing back in. But I suppose it's also a chance for Andros Townsend to prove me wrong, as well as Kieran Gibbs. It gives people a chance to prove people wrong. Raheem Sterling, well, we all know what's going on with him and the Liverpool contract talks. If I was in the England role, I think I would leave Raheem Sterling out. Because there's too much going on at the side to actually be able to bring him in, I think. Whether he's concentrated enough to do international duty, I don't know, but we'll find out. And James Milner is... I know it sounds weird, but he's one of my favourite players. Because he is just a player that... He's not flash. He will work for you. And that allows you to have people like Raheem Sterling and Andros Townsend in the side. Because Milner will do the work that the other players don't want to do. And then the other players can do whatever they want around him. Now on to what I'm classing as the more defensive midfielders, which are Fabian Delph of Aston Villa, Jordan Henderson of Liverpool, and Ryan Mason of Spurs. Ryan Mason, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but I just don't think he's as good as some people make him out to be. Some people make him out to be this really incredibly good midfielder, but I think he is just good. He's average to good at best, I feel. And when you have people like Jordan Henderson, who just a year or two ago was being slated, but now he's being seen as Steven Gerrard's replacement at Liverpool, it really makes you think that we do have better midfielders in England, and it makes you wonder how we've gone from Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes, how we've then been able to drop to Ryan Mason. Because I really don't think he's got that quality that really makes an England player. And I know a lot of people now will say that England are not a quality country anymore, to which I would partially agree. But I would like to think we still had enough about us to do something. Fabian Delph, I think that's a good choice, to be honest. Because I do think Delph is a very good player. I think he's a very good player in a very bad team. So I would like to see Delph make a move in the summer, but I think it's a good choice for England and by Roy Hodgson to bring him in. And then we have what I'm classing as the more attacking midfielders. One of them may not quite count as an attacking midfielder, but I've put him in there. We've got Ross Barkley of Everton, Adam Lallana of Liverpool, and Jack Wilshere of Arsenal. Has Wilshere really brought his way into this squad? Has he earned his way into the squad? Again, no. He's been injured for far too long. Does he deserve a spot? Probably not. But you tell me, who should be in that spot? Especially when you've got the under-21 European competition running alongside it, where a lot of the top players that I would have liked to have seen called up can't be because they've been picked for the under-21s. But one thing I will say on that is that I'm glad that these players are willing to play for the under-21s in a major tournament rather than playing for the England senior team in a friendly and a European qualifier. I would much rather see the younger players in a major competition where they're going to get that experience. So I'm glad that these kind of players, even like Will Hughes, he's in the under-21 squad, could possibly push a senior spot, but I'm glad he's in the under-21 tournament because he's just going to get more experience and it's going to be better for him if he does ever make the senior squad. So going back to Jack Wilshere, I think it's about the best pick he can make. But I would rather see people like Ross Barkley and Adam Lallana, especially Lallana at the moment, because he's in a good vein of form. I would like to see Lallana play. Ross Barkley, I'm not so sure. He's obviously a top quality player. But I think I'd rather see Adam Lallana play at the moment, just because of his run of form that he's in at the moment. And then finally the forwards, and this is where it gets really interesting, because we have Charlie Austin of QPR, Wayne Rooney of Manchester United, obviously, Jamie Vardy of Leicester, and Danny Welbeck of Arsenal. Looking at Welbeck, he is a doubt as well, with a knee injury. So Danny Welbeck is out the last league game of the season for Arsenal. He's out the FA Cup final, and it's going to be touch and go whether he can play in these two international games. So it could be that another striker from out of the blue will get a spot in the England squad and could be playing. And this is why I mentioned Theo Walcott possibly being a striker for England in these games, because of two uncapped, unchosen players being picked in the striker's role, which are Charlie Austin and Jamie Vardy. And with Welbeck injured possibly, this is why I think Walcott will probably get a more forward role than the winger role I've currently sort of put him as. But Wayne Rooney obviously is going to be the captain. He's going to play. I should think he will play both games. Whether he does 90 minutes on both games, I don't know. But he's going to be the captain. I'm pretty sure he's going to start both games. But the really interesting ones, of course, are Charlie Austin and Jamie Vardy, who have never been picked before, as well as Tom Heaton. He's never been picked before either. Charlie Austin is a fully deserved call-up because he's had a superb season for QPR. I mean, you can't call up Harry Kane because he is going off with the under-21s for the European competition, which again, like I've said before, I'm very glad he's chosen to do that rather than play in 2 senior games that really wouldn't mean anything, except for the European qualifier, obviously. I'm glad to see that Charlie Austin is in there. I think Charlie Austin would have been in there anyway, but it's a really good pick because he's had a superb season for QPR. Again, QPR have gone down, remember, but he scored 17 goals this season. Second highest English goal scorer in the Premier League. 4th highest scorer in the Premier League this season. Because he's only behind Harry Kane in the English scorers chart. But I'm just glad that this has happened. Another player you could look at is Saido Berahino from West Brom, but again, he's been chosen for the under-21s European squad, which is good to see. And this has left the space for 28-year-old Jamie Vardy. As a Leicester fan, I don't know why I feel proud, because I don't even know the guy, but I do. I just feel proud. I have a season ticket at Leicester. I've seen him play a lot of times this season, and just the work ethic he puts in is absolutely unbelievable. He keeps going for 90 minutes. He will not give up. He will keep going for you. He will chase everything. And as much as I don't think Vardy's going to play, I would love to see him play for England because it would just be brilliant. But I think Charlie Austin is the more deserving out of the two. Even as a Leicester fan, I will still say that. I think Austin is more deserving of a starting spot or a position on the pitch than Vardy is. I think Vardy will be a very much last resort player. So that is my reaction and summary to Roy Hodgson's England squad for the upcoming games. Let me know what your reaction and your thoughts are on this squad, especially if you're not from England. What do you make of this squad? Do you know who all the players are? Would you need some explaining on who some of the players are? Who would you pick as well? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you've liked this video, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well for more sports content. As I said at the beginning, hopefully I'll be getting more videos out there in a short space of time because it has been about 3 or 4 weeks since I last uploaded on here. And thank you for watching.